I spoke to, there were 40 elders between the ages of 75 and 100 years of age, and I asked them what I should be doing now to live well at their age. So it was very specifically focused on me as an aging boomer. A very large percentage of them had continued to work well past the age of 65. They, as a general rule, advised me to keep working, but they specified that it didn't have to be in the paid world of work. It could be in the unpaid world of work. They recommended volunteering, and they had a good number of very specific suggestions around that. I think the best explanation for why they focused so directly on work was that they felt it would give me a reason to get up in the morning. They saw work as being integral to that. And the best parable that I came across with this in mind is a Buddhist parable, which is a young man meets an older man. As they're both of them are walking, they cross paths, hiking, walking up a very steep slope up in the Himalayas. And the old man is stooped over and bent double with age, and the young man is overcome with compassion for him and says, "Old man, tell me, what is the worst problem with being old? And what is your greatest burden?" And the answer the old man gave was, "I have nothing to carry." And this is really what the role models, the elders, were saying to me, that I need something to carry. It was interesting when I asked people to give me specific advice. The advice they were giving me was very much drawing on their whole life course. So, for example, they had a huge emphasis on maintaining, developing my social network, which is of course inherent in work, as well, the kind of collegial connections one makes. They felt that we are social creatures. We need people desperately. The older we get, we need people more. And they also had some specific tips about the transition to the sort of the next phase of working life. One of the things that was recommended is to park your ego. Parking your ego was, they saw, incredibly critical to picking up a burden in the next phase of life after maybe the official work life. And one of the things that people said is very difficult for a lot of people who have been used to running the show, to being the CEO, or certainly to be the person that everyone turns to for advice, to go into an organization where you have never volunteered before and you have certain expectations that they will immediately slot you into a very similar position with the same status and the same respect. And people said, you should be happy. If you're working for the food bank, you should be happy bagging groceries. You should be happy delivering food baskets. You need to see yourself as making a contribution, giving a service to people. And again, you need to park your ego at the door. And if you are able to do that, you're going to find a much easier way to pick up a burden than if you're sitting there waiting for somebody to recognize the role that will be meritorious.